Hi, my name's Sue Tonks. I'm delighted to have you with me today for a really exciting trial of a live TV internet broadcast. Today, we're going to show you some fantastic technology to help you whenever you're trying to get a message across to a wide range of people all over the world, where you're trying to do a training program, where you need to get some information or to some fast communication out to some people, or you're doing a major presentation or keynote. So I'm here today to give you a little bit of a demonstration. It is a demonstration and we're live for the very first time. So just to show you we're live, there are a few people I'm hoping that have logged on today that I'd like to just participate just in a little bit of practice, just to check the technology to see that it's working okay. So the 4 people I'd like to see if you're listening and you can participate is Marcia Hoyes from Durham University, Wayne Coupland from Telecom Plus, Will Kintish from Kintish, and Jill Smallwood from Fortalece. Now, if you're there and listening, what I'd like you to do is type a message into me, but please, before you type the message in, can you put your first name in, then the message, and then I'll be able to pick up any messages, just to make sure that we're streaming out live and everything's going okay. So thank you. So your messages, please. And for everybody else, if you can use this time to make sure that you can get a piece of paper and a pen, because you are all going to participate in this presentation at various times in the 20 minutes that we're going to be on air. So if you get your piece of paper and your pen. Right, hi Marcia. Okay, brilliant, thank you very much. It's good to see you as always, and nice to see. I'm going to be up in your neck of the woods soon to see you over at the Durham Business School. Now Marcia is online today because she wants to have a look at how the technology could be used for her worldwide MBA program, so that she can send messages out to all the students, training programs, and also to the alumni. So that's why Marcia is tuned in today. So great to see you, Marcia. So somebody says, won't let me on, but we're receiving your messages, so I'm not quite sure who that is. Now, let me just tell you who else I've asked. I've asked Will Kintish. Now, Will Kintish is looking for this seminar, this trial today, to help with the web design, the web-based training that he's going to do in the future, and to see how this technology might help him on that. Wayne Coupland has a massive thousands of people in his distribution network, and is here today to tuning in today so that he can see how we can get messages to a large number of people in a live situation, also a bit like conference calling on a regular basis. And finally for Jill Smallwood, who is over in, is on her holidays today. She's tuned in from the next door neighbours in the Isle of Wight. And Jill wants to put some training programmes that she's designed on domestic violence. She wants those to reach a larger audience, and this is a good technology for her to do that at very low cost to the various charity groups that would be tuning in. So hopefully then we've got all messages for everybody. So thank you all for inputting on that. That's brilliant. Okay, so what we're going to do now is going to give you the opportunity to all participate, and we'll see how that works. I'm not quite sure how the technology is going to be up with the speed, but we'll have a go. And what we're going to do is take 2 segments of my management development program, which is called The Essence of Management. And the segments I've chosen today are about delegation, because I know many of you in your own businesses and in ordinary businesses struggle with delegation because all sorts of reasons, you know, you're busy and everything else. So we're going to ask that first question. So the first question I want you to answer is just up here. It says, why don't managers delegate as much as they could or should? So why don't managers delegate as much as they could or should? So if you put your answers in now, we'll be able to start picking up. Remember to put your name in first so that we know exactly who you are. Now, delegation is said to be the number problem, the number 2 problem in British industry today. So you're all going to be asking me what's number 1. Well, the simple answer to that one is it's communication. And that's always going to be a problem in any industry. So as we turn the flip chart over, and you can see we can use different technology here on the trial. Why don't we delegate as much as we like? So Marcia's back in, and she's really fast on the ball up there in Durham. And Marcia says, we don't like to lose control. Okay, so that's a big problem, isn't it? Because if you delegate to somebody, then you could well lose control of the whole project, the idea or the job. And sometimes we don't want to let go. We don't want to lose that control because the job and the quality of that job is important to us. We've also got Chris Williams. Hi Chris, nice to see you. And it's, in fact, it's quicker to DIY. Yeah, it's always going to be quicker to do it yourself. Yeah, of course, if you delegate it to somebody, it's going to take them a lot longer than it would you to do that job because they've never done it before. First time. But if you delegate it the second time, they'll be a bit quicker. And the third time, do you know, Chris, they might even be quicker than you because you've got all these other things to do and they can just concentrate on doing a quality job. So, but it's a real problem for everybody because it's always going to be quicker to do it yourself. Leslie says they don't necessarily have the emotional intelligence or the skills to do it. So really, not got the skills. And you know, to me, that in management, this is a short-term answer to a long-term problem. Unless we delegate, we are never going to be developing the skills in them to take those jobs forwards and to develop those skills and abilities and the confidence they need to do a good job. So who else we got? Phil Jones. Oh, hi Phil, nice to see you. Because we like doing it ourselves. Well, don't we just like lots of different jobs? Yeah, we say, okay, well, we give it to them because we don't like that bit, but we're going to keep all this to ourselves because we like doing this. And it's usually the quick, easy jobs, or you know, sometimes the bit that gives us the extra kudo. So all sorts. So the Kintish team are here. So nice to see the Kintish team. We think our broadband is really slow. It keeps stopping and skipping. So that's nice to tell you, because the other thing about this is that if there's any technical issues, we can also pick up information from it. So I'm sorry there, girls, at the minute. We'll see what we can do on this side for you. Alex says, sometimes people find it quicker to do things themselves than taking the extra time to explain. So again, it's quicker to do it yourself. Leslie says, I meant the managers don't have the skills though. So that's interesting because we thought it was about the staff having the skills, but Leslie says it's also about the managers not having the skills. That's really important because, you know, maybe somebody has never taught them how to delegate effectively. And if we don't know how to do it and we did it once and it went awful, then, you know, next time we're really unsure about whether we're going to risk an important job for somebody to do again. And so if we don't have the skills, we need to develop those. Sometimes it's just fear of things not going right. We like to keep control. So thank you very much for that, Leslie. Okay, now many of you have already had a bit of a chance. Oh, Susan, scared they'll do a better job. Well, you know, sometimes we have to let people do a better job than us because that's how we make progress in an organisation, because we can limit an organisation by what we can physically do ourselves. So thanks for that. Now we're going to be moving on to a different type of participation. And this time it's a bit technical, so we're going to split you into 3 groups. And you're going to be working at 3 totally different things all at the same time, but only feeding into me 1 group at a time. So the question is going to be, if I do a really good job of delegating, what would be the benefits to me, my people, or the organisation? So how we're going to organise this is that everybody that's got the first names beginning with A to H, you're doing the first part, so the P, what's the benefit to you? Anybody then from I to P, you're going to do the benefit to your team. And anybody from Q to Z, you're looking at the benefits for your organisation or your company. So first of all, don't answer anything yet. We're just going to take group 1 first. So anybody in group 1, remember to put your name first before you comment. Okay. And again, while we're getting that information, we can prepare the flip chart for that information. So we're just waiting for the first ones. We've got some problems with the video skipping a little bit, and I'm really sorry about that. It's not skipping on this side. The only thing that's skipping on this side is my heart rate, I can tell you. Okay, right. So information from the me's, right, thank you. All right, we've got the first bit of information in. So first bit is more time. Brilliant. Of course, if we're doing a good job of delegating, we'll have more time. So thank you, Chris. More time to work on the business instead of being in the business doing all the do. So I've got more time. And the other thing about the time is that what are you going to do with the more time? Well, that's the time that you can do the important stuff that you know you should be doing, but you really don't get round to doing because you're so busy doing the day-to-day. So thanks, Chris. Alex says, saves time to focus on priorities. Yeah, when we've got so many things, the only thing we can't improve at the minute is my writing. We've got so many things that we need to do. If we delegate effectively, we can concentrate on the important ones. So thank you very much for that. Okay, let's move down to the next team. So we know it's a bit slow on the trial today, but we're still working with it. So the next question is, if I do a really good job of delegating, the second group, what are the benefits to my people? So if I do a really good job of delegating, what are the benefits to my people? So we're just waiting for information to come in. Now, what's fabulous about this technology is that we're doing this in quite a small room. We could be doing it on a major stage, in a conference facility, all those things. And we're going to show you a bit later on how it all works and who's responsible for it and who's actually in the room doing this show with me at the moment, and introduce you to the technical side of it. Okay, we've got some people. Jean, thank you very much. Give some greater responsibility. Okay, great. So we get greater responsibility, they grow and become more valuable, okay? Because now if we delegate, then what your people will do is they'll have a wider set of skills, they'll be more valuable to you, more valuable to taking the organisation further. Marcia says allows more time to focus and develop individuals in the team, because you've got a management development programme running if you are developing and growing your people. So they're ready to take on bigger challenges, they're ready to move forward for the team and the business. And Leslie, each member knows what they're responsible for, and this is very important. Yeah, people get responsibility, they buy in, and also they're empowered. Brilliant. Okay. Also, you'll find that they get more motivated. And a really important word for many of us is they feel trusted and know we trust them to do the work to the ability. Okay, brilliant. So thank you very much. So we're going to go to the third team now, which is the company. So what are the benefits to the company of me delegating effectively? So off we go, team 3. So while we're waiting for that, tell a little bit more technical information. So we're going to meet the two cameramen at the minute. They're here for a reason, and we'll find out why they're using 2 cameras. And also going to show you some of the things that are happening in the background to put the input onto the screen, the credits, the openings, those sorts of things. Okay, so now we've got Sarah, you get better trained staff. Well, that's a benefit to the people, but also benefit to the company, because they've got better trained staff, the company is going to be more flexible. And also flexible here. because your people can be more flexible if you're asking them to do wider things and they've got wider skills. So the flexibility is important, because if a company is flexible and it's got people that can adapt quickly in times of change and difficulties like we're experiencing today, you know, the team can actually adopt and adapt different techniques and skills and can quickly move where the organisation needs to be to survive. That's a very important point today. Robin, to be more productivity, so we can get a bigger turnover, productivity, and also a lower turnover, not of money this time, but also staff. Because if we are growing and developing our people, they feel motivated, empowered, they're more likely to stay with us, even if the going's hard, because they'll see a place, they'll see that they are recognised, and recognition was one of the big aspects of keeping people in an organisation. And we've also got staff buy into the company ethos. It builds good reputation, you get more business. So the staff enjoy the business, they buy into it, and as a result of that really pass out good messages about how your organisation operates. Happy people. And so therefore business growth. Okay, so now we've seen how that area of training can happen, and how people over the world can participate in the same training programme. We're going to now have a look at some of the technical aspects of what's happening here today. So first of all, I'm going to introduce you to Martin. Now Martin's in charge of the web streaming. He's from Zen Computer Services. Hi Martin.
Hello. Hello. Hopefully you can hear me now. Yeah.
Hiya Martin. So what are you actually doing with that wonderful console there that you're looking at the moment?
Well, looking after all the technical side of taking the various audio and video inputs, switching between them, adding in the graphics, and outputting it via an internet connection over the web.
So, sorry, carry on.
So we're doing, on the one side, all the sort of things that you would do on a TV outside broadcast or in a studio, but instead of transmitting it through conventional methods, it's going out over the internet, and we don't need nearly as much equipment as we would probably for a full-scale a studio or outside broadcast.
Okay, brilliant. So actually we're in quite a small room today and we've still got plenty of room to walk about.
We are. We're just in a normal office with obviously some professional cameras and cameramen, but not really needing any sort of great equipment or location.
Brilliant.
Certainly don't need a van parked outside and cables, traipsing in through the window or anything like that.
Fabulous. Now, everybody will have seen some words coming up on the wall, well actually on the curtain behind me. How do you do things like that?
Well, we can import any sort of PC images, graphics files, video clips, and they can all be played into the mix. So you can have pretty much the same facilities that you would have in a TV studio program. More or less anything you can see on TV can be done here.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Martin. We'll come back to you a bit later on. By the way, if you want to ask any particular questions about the technical aspect, please don't ask me, but please type it in. And if we can answer it online today live, then we'd be delighted to do so. So the next person that we're going to meet, well, we actually got two cameramen with us. There's Aaron. Now, Aaron's stood behind the camera that's facing me now. There we are, Aaron. And Aaron's doing one sort of shot. No idea what it is, it's technical. And then the other person just coming round now is my roving camera, all right? And this is James. James has got a very hot job today because it's boiling in here and he's holding this very heavy piece of equipment. So James, why are we using two cameras today?
We're using two cameras because we've got one camera, as you can see me now, which is getting kind of the studio, the wide shot. And then me on a close-up here, where I can get things like the whiteboard, the text that comes up on the whiteboard, or products as well. Also, if you can film an interview, say, so one camera can get the person being interviewed and the other camera can get the interviewee. There's numerous uses for this kind of thing.
Brilliant. So as we look, and you said about close-ups, how close can we get to anything? So if I've got my mobile phone up here for demonstration purposes.
Yeah, we can get very, very close. And we can see all the buttons on the screen there.
Okay, so if we were to open something like the email, then you'd get the emails up. So we could do virtually anything with it on demonstration purposes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, thank you very much. So if you're going to be using this technology to train people on minutiae details, how things work and operate, which buttons to press, computer training, engineering training, this technique is absolutely ideal, because it also means that you can perhaps do some training with people, and those people are using the equipment, same equipment at the same time, in a totally different country, across the other side of the world. So there's no travelling, there's no excessive time and wasting effort, and of course we're protecting the ozone layer as well. So there's lots of different ideas. One of the other techniques we've got today is just to put some pictures on. So I've prepared some pictures that we're going to have up on the side of me. And the first picture is a group picture. It's a conference that I attended earlier on. And so there's a picture of all the conference attendees. So things like that, just to make it a little bit more special, you know, that organisation that you're working with. The next picture is a picture of an outdoor training group that I had for the Essence of Management, where we went and spent half a day outside doing management training. I had a little bit of a picture at the end of it, so that's great for them. Then we've got Chris. Chris was running a training session with his Live, Laugh, Love group the other week, so I put a Chris on there, and we've heard from Chris earlier on because he sent a message in. And finally, no, we can't do anything without bringing Gollum in, so there's Gollum. Okay. Now, one of the other things that we can do, which we haven't prepared for this presentation today, is that we can introduce something like green screen. Now, for those that are non-technical, like me, green screen is a bit like the weather forecasters. So when they bring the weather up, they're talking at the front, the hands up and down, and behind them then is the picture of the continent or the country. And you know, of course, the hand always moves over the rainy patch in Manchester. Okay, so that's the sort of idea of the technical equipment that we would need: camera, monitor, and then just behind you, behind the cameraman here, I don't know whether you've noticed it, but if we get James to just turn around a bit. Okay, then we can also see behind the cameraman there are big words on the screen, so when I'm talking to you, I can actually see the responses. So that's brilliant, and the responses can come straight up on the screen as we go. So there's the technology. It's a little bit of a taster. It's just to show you, if you've got a creative mind, what you could do with the technology that's about to make your training cost effective, reach more people, get some of the key messages over to people, and particularly if you're involved in rapid change, you want to pass a message quickly to lots of people at the same time. And also what's really beautiful about this is getting that little bit of feedback and involvement so that everybody feels part of that training program too. Okay, so I'd like to say thanks today to Martin from Zen Computer Services for all his hard work putting all the clips and the bits together, for Aaron and James for good work there on the cameras, and also for Apple Video for organising the entire practical presentation, the room, and all the messages, of course, that have been going out to everybody to get you here today. And of course, for me, Sue Tonks, if you want to know anything about my training programs, then my address is sue@suetonks.co.uk. And finally, any other information you want to know about the presentation today, about this trial, then please contact live@applevideo.co.uk. So that's live@applevideo.co.uk, because I'm sure there might be some things that you want to ask which might be easier to ask off air. So thank you very much for joining in this trial today. We hope you find it useful, and we hope it really stimulates the creative juices for all the marvellous things you can do out there with training, presenting, conference calling, and really making a difference to people on a big scale. Thank you.